Hey kids, welcome to section 1.1, straight time pay. Today we're going to learn how to calculate straight time pay, and I want you to think about why it's important that you should understand the information on your paychecks. You're all going to have jobs, you're all going to get paychecks, and you want to make sure that you look at the paychecks, make sure they're correct. All right, so some jobs pay you a fixed amount of money for each hour that you work. This is called your hourly rate, okay? And as of January 1st, 2025, the minimum wage in Illinois is $15 per hour for all workers that are 18 years of age or older. So when you get that first job, as long as you're 18, minimum wage in Illinois, $15 an hour. So officially, hourly rate is the amount of money that you earn every hour that you work when you are paid by the hour. So for example, Jesse earns $11.25 every hour that he works. His hourly rate is $11.25. Another vocab word, straight time pay. This is the total amount of money that you earn per pay period when you're paid at an hourly rate. So for example, if Jesse worked the job 30 hours this pay period and earned a total of $337.50, his straight time pay is $337.50. If you want to calculate straight time pay, all you're going to do is take your hourly rate and multiply by how many hours you worked. Boom, multiply, round your answer. Money always has 2 decimals, so make sure that you round your answer. Once we calculate our straight time pay, if we have multiple jobs, we can add them all up. This is called our gross income. Kids, gross income is the title of chapter 1. So that is what we are talking about, the total amount of money you are paid during a pay period. All right, let's look at some examples. Number 1, we've got a table here that says to find the straight time pay. We've got 3 employees. The first employee is Carter. He earns $9.25 an hour and he works 20 hours. So if I want to calculate his straight time pay, all I'm going to do is take $9.25, multiply it by 20 hours, get your answer, and make sure you round. $185. This one came out perfect, so we didn't have to worry about it. The second one, Jay Hill, she earns $11.10 an hour at her regular rate. She works 35 hours. If we multiply those together, she's going to earn $388.50. Our last person, S. Zepeda, she earns $12.60 an hour, works 42 hours. Multiply those together, and you get $529.20. All right, those are pretty straightforward. Let's look at another example without the table. If your hourly rate is $12 and you work 39.5 hours, what is your straight time pay? So straight time pay, we take our hourly rate, which is $12, and we multiply it by 39.5 hours, which is our time. Now remember, we need to understand that 1/2 hours is 0.5. So it might be hard to put 1/2 into your calculator, so change 1/2 to 0.5. So I'm going to multiply by 39.5. If I multiply this on my calculator, I get $497.70. That was a little off. All right, next example, Ben was hired for the position of billing clerk. During his first week on the job, he worked 7.5 hours each day, Monday through Friday. If he earns $15 an hour, what was his total pay for the week? Okay, well, if he worked 7.5 hours each day, and he worked Monday through Friday, that's 5 days. So I need to multiply 7.5 hours times 5 days a week. Again, 7.5 can be 7.5, and we're multiplying it by 5 days in a week. That tells us that he is working 37.5 hours. Now, it also tells us that for each hour he works, he gets $15 an hour. So if I do 37.5 and multiply by $15 an hour, I'm going to get a total amount of pay of $562.50. Right, let's go to the next page. All right, Bobby is an office manager at a weekly newspaper. He earns $22.50 per hour. How many hours per week does Bobby work if he earns 522 hours per week? Round to the nearest hour if needed. Well, normally we would take the hourly rate and we would multiply by the hours, and that would give us our gross income. Well, this time we know what the rate is, $22.50 an hour. I don't know what the hours are, but I do know that he earns $522 a week. So if I multiply by whatever his hours were, that would be how we would normally do the problem. Well, we're going to work backwards this time. And instead of multiplying to get our answer, we're going to divide. So we're going to take the total amount of money that he earned and divide it by how much he earned per hour. So $522 divided by 22.50, and we get 23.2. The directions say to round to the nearest hour, so that's going to give us 23 hours. So he works approximately 23 hours. All right, next example, Hunter James earns $13.10 per hour. How many hours would Hunter need to work to earn a straight time pay of $497.80? So again, we know his total amount that he earns, and we know how much he earns per hour. So I can divide the total amount he earns, $497.80, by how much he earns an hour, $13.10. If I divide this, I get 38 hours. Comes out evenly, no need to round. All right, finally the last example, John Bradford earns $17.84 per hour as an insurance claims adjuster. Here's John. John's down here. Look at John. What is his straight time pay for the week if he worked the following hours this week? So Monday he worked 8 hours, Tuesday he worked 8 hours, Wednesday 6.5 hours, Thursday 8.5 hours, and Friday 7 1/4 hours. Well, first of all, we need to find out his total amount of hours for the week. So I should add all his hours up. Now be careful because this 6 1/2 I can put in as 6.5. Yep. And the other one that we got to worry about is 7 1/4. Well, if I do 1 divided by 4 on my calculator, I get 0.25. So I'm going to put 7.25. So if I add all of these together, I get 38.25 hours. So now I know the total amount of hours that he worked for the week, and I know the total amount that he earns per hour, his hourly rate, so I can multiply those two together. 38.25 hours multiplied by $17.84 an hour is when you're going to have to round 2 decimal places, $682.38. All right, kids, that's how you calculate straight time pay. It's when you multiply the number of hours times the hourly rate, and that's how you come up with your pay. All right, if you have any questions, please let me know. And as always, keep calm and keep trucking.